Okay, screw it. I'm just going to go for it. So I normally don't make videos like this, but I woke up this morning to epic reeing, and for good reason. Well, there's no good reason for reeing. But something incredible happened. Something incredible happened. Hi, my name's Andrew. This is Ugly Review. I normally don't make videos like this. But I thought I would just put in my 2 cents about this whole thing happening with Kotaku. And if this is a result of the Gamergate 2.0, heavy air quotes, I have no idea. But this is just getting started right now with the Kotaku, with the hardcore Kotaku drama. So here we go. So this morning, I woke up and it appears that, where'd it go? So Geo Media seems to be forcing Kotaku to actually do work, and they're losing their minds. The writers and the editor and everything at Kotaku have lost their minds because their parent company, Geo Media, wants them to do actual work. Now, here on Twitter, here's Grums. Here's the quick rundown on Kotaku. Jen Glennon, EIC, tweets, the editor-in-chief, tweets she has resigned. Mad Kotaku writers spill the beans. They must dump news and write gaming guides. Former Kotaku head Nathan Grayson tells us 7 writers left, must churn out 50 game guides per week. So what's happening is Geo Media, their parent company, is saying, we're done with the political opinion bullshit. We're done with the activism. You're going to have to actually start writing game guides again. Now, this is, for those of you, like back in Electronic Gamer Monthly and stuff like that, back in, the magazines used to be just game guides, right? There were game reviews and game guides, and that's it. Upcoming games and, interviews with game developers and stuff like that. It was actually about games. And a lot of these websites started out the exact same way. But I'm not sure if you've noticed or not. I'm sure you have. But all of the activism and the political commentary and bullshit and all of the reverse bigotry or just plain old bigotry on display by many of these public so-called journalists, it's gotten out of control. And this whole thing really took off with the recent Sweet Baby Inc. Bullshit. And just to rehash real quick, of course, there was a Steam user by the name of Cabrutus who compiled a list of all the games that Sweet Baby Inc. Had been working on, and that group now has over 300,000 members, so it's going very, very strong. And as soon as they did that, Sweet Baby Inc. lost their minds, tried to get that guy canceled, try to get that guy's entire Steam page taken down, that page, his private page, and then called on its friends in the big corporate media to help. So Kotaku and PC Gamer and a few others came running and, circled the wagons and went after gamers again. Just went after gamers and said, this space is not for gamers. This space is for activism. That's basically what they said. What about the... Let's look real quick. And the black girl gamers. Remember that? Remember that tweet? If we can find it real quick. Oh, come on. Where is it? Black girl gamers. This is it. There it is. So Black girl gamers said, the amount of harassment we've had recently due to this Gamergate 2 is not surprising. Gamers that thought the industry revolved around them and their comforts are now realizing it doesn't. Well, sweetheart, the people at Kotaku are now realizing that the game industry does not revolve around them, because it fucking doesn't. It does, in fact, revolve around gamers and good games. And no, you're not going to change that unless you want to just completely destroy the industry, which they may. They may. But they're driving everybody out. They're driving everyone out of the industry. And so let's go over this a little bit. So this is on Grums. Here's the quick rundown on Kotaku, and we went over that real quick. So then here's Carolyn Pettit. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm an expert on Gamergate or anything. I'm not. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert on it. I know the kind of the meta of it all. I don't know the finer points and details, though, and I'm not going to pretend like I do. So let's just go over this. Extremely proud of Jen for taking this ethical stance in response to profoundly misguided anti-journalism edicts from GO Media Management. Okay. So let's go over a few of these and we'll go back and forth, okay? Some personal news, and then Jen, the editor-in-chief. I've resigned from Kotaku, and Jim Spanfeller is an herb, whatever the fuck that means. And then, let's see, Levi L. Winslow. Oh, that's clever. You spelled L. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Here's a small cup of tea. Management doesn't even care about the quality of the guides. They want us to aggregate them from other sites like a literal content mill. That they're destroying people's livelihood gags me, and not in the good way. So, okay, according to a source close to the situation, Kotaku staff will be expected to create 50 guides a week at the site. Currently, Kotaku's homepage features a prominent game tips and guides module at the top of the page in a space that was previously reserved for major stories and breaking news. Staff members have criticized the homepage redesign on social media, noting that Kotaku's major source of traffic is not guides. So you are admitting that you haven't been focused on game guides. You haven't been focused on game reviews. Your major stories and breaking news is always your activism. It's always your stuff about Gamergate. It's always the stuff about bigotry. It's always the stuff about this made-up victimhood. And now you're complaining that your employer said, no, we actually need to talk about video games. So you are upset that you actually have to do the job that you signed up for, it sounds like, right? Why did you sign up at Kotaku? Did you sign up at Kotaku to talk about video games? Don't you love talking about video games? You'll tell everyone that you're a gamer. You'll tell everyone that, oh, yes, I love games. They mean so much to my life. But you don't write about anything about them. And then when your employer says, we want you to talk about video games since you love them so much, you throw a fit and you quit and you pout like a child because you're a child. So you know what this is? These people, a lot of these people have realized that the jig is up. Their grift is coming to an end, right? Because all of these quote journalists who are going to leave Kotaku, where are they going? Because the media quote journalism industry is pretty much dead, and they're the ones that killed it. They're the ones that killed it, right? Everyone's going to YouTube for this stuff now anyway, so unless you've got something really good to offer the game industry, the gaming community, you're a big nothing. And these people are starting to realize that, oh shit, my grift is over, because they realize that they're untalented and they're uninteresting, they're boring, they're not very useful to society outside of the basic things of, just men being men and women being women, and they can't fucking stand that. They can't stand it. They're not good at games, or they don't love games in the first place. They're all activists. They want to be left alone. They don't want standards, right? Think about this. Their employer said, we have standards for you. You have to write this many guides. And it doesn't even sound like you even have to write the guide. You just have to aggregate the guides. Right? So you have to go collect gaming guides from around the internet and then talk about them. So your standards are very low to begin with. But you having standards at all drives you insane. And do you know why? It's because you know you're not good at anything. Yet you know that if you actually have to go out into the world and out into society and actually produce something, you can't fucking do it unless you fall into line with what men do and with what women do. So the men here, the men who are going to complain about this, you guys go dig a ditch, right? Go be a garbage man, or go learn to program, right? Go try to get a construction job. Go see if you can learn a trade. You're not creative enough to do this stuff. You're not talented enough to keep people interested with this. Go do that. And all the women, I don't know what to tell you, but a lot of you probably are struggling with you're struggling with the thought that the only thing you might be good for is making babies. Right? Is that all women? Absolutely not. But it might be these women. They have come to the realization that they are untalented, they are not funny, they are uninteresting. And this was the only thing that was keeping them going, was this diversity and inclusion and equity bullshit. Okay? And now it's coming to an end. People are saying, no, we don't want your crap anymore. No, go do something useful for society. And they're freaking out because they don't think they can. Deep down, they know they probably can't, unless it's something, I don't know. If they want to call it menial or basic or whatever, that's life. People are not equal. We have different skills. We have different levels of creativity. We have different levels of physical prowess. We have all sorts of different variables that make us unequal. We have laws within society that are designed to help us function equally, right? Give us equal opportunity. But in terms of our abilities, no, we're not equal. And these people can't fucking stand it because they know in a free marketplace of merit and skill, they're going to be the lowest on the totem pole when it comes to things that are actually productive to society. So let's go through a little more of this, okay? This is Nathan Grayson. Again, Nathan Grayson he's the co-founder and reporter of Aftermath site. I don't know if I'm going to talk much about him. Again, I'm not like a super expert on this, guys. I was just wanting to give my 2 cents on all of this bullshit and these people freaking out and why they're freaking out. Let's see. They're destroying people's livelihood, gags me. You are the same group of people who wanted MAGA supporters doxxed because of their bigotry. You are the same group of people who said that those who didn't want the injection were bad and should be rounded up into camps, right? That's your side. That's what you guys did. Don't think that anyone's going to have any sympathy for you. Why should we? The only thing you guys have done is sow discord and division, and you've done so intentionally. A lot of you probably had no idea that you were doing so intentionally. You're so brainwashed. But if you look going down the list, nobody cares. Everyone is so happy about this. D-Day Cobra, Hold the Line. This is the greatest moment of my life. Hold. There's Gundam. There's Grums. You know, all sorts of people. This is basically the end of Kotaku, right? They have to create 50 guides. Holy shit, you mean they actually have to play the games they so furiously comment on and cry havoc when they are not diverse? My God, the humanity. Exactly. And yeah, and then they freak out. It's like, oh my God, this game doesn't have a black, trans, BIPOC, queer thingamajig as the main character. Oh my God. And they lose their minds because they're not talented enough to make creative games either. Nothing they do is good. Nothing. What have they done that's good? Name me one thing. But no one cares. Everyone's saying, good, get the fuck out. Yeah, here you go. This is what happens. This is exactly what happened from Boring Battle Cry on Twitter. When all of those industrial workers lost their jobs, what did these people say? Learn to code. When the game journos are losing their jobs, we're saying, yeah, learn to game. Isn't that what you do? If that's not what you do, what do you do? So if you're telling me that you're gonna ree and scream and kick and cry and all this BS because you have to do some games, why? Huh. Anyway, let's see. Is there anything else? You had another. So Geo Media. Geo Media owns several brands: AV Club, Gizmodo, Quartz, Kotaku, The Onion, several. But they were also the company that sold off Deadspin after Deadspin, let's see, said that the Kansas City Chiefs and the NFL should denounce this child who was wearing face paint because they said he was wearing blackface. right? And you can clearly see here, and for this is sports ball, I understand, but you may have heard of this story where Deadspin, a website that has now been sold off and fired everybody, they got sued after one of their writers called this little kid, like this 11-year-old kid, this 10-year-old kid, a racist, and plastered it everywhere. And of course, everyone, Twitter was on this kid's side. Twitter came out and was like, no, no, no. I mean, you can see it everywhere, but now Deadspin's gone. So, and you can see they've got video here where this kid, all the players came over and loved this kid. But anyway, I digress. So Geo Media, maybe they see the turning of the tide. They got rid of Deadspin. They got rid of, they're getting rid of Kotaku. So, yeah, anyway. Okay, so this is on Packer Girl. So Levi L. Winslow goes on. Okay, no bullshit. To everyone cheering about Kotaku's slow death, fuck off. Hate us all you want. I don't care. But this is our livelihoods. There's a lot to worry about our jobs because, you know what? We have families and shit. This person says, don't take it out on people. I get you're mad, but press your anger to the people that caused this. Just saying. No, you're right. I'm upset at the people begging for me to lose my job. People I don't know and never intend to offend with my work. But all of my anger is really directed toward the capitalistic interests that ruin everything, not the media industry. This is so fucking typical. They didn't do their job. People called them out for it. Their employer said, you're going to do your job. They said, I don't want to do that job. So now they quit or they got fired. And they're blaming everyone else. Blame the system, blame the people, blame MAGA, blame capitalism, blame the patriarchy, blame sexism, blame anything but yourself. Never take any responsibility whatsoever. And that's another big reason why these people will never, ever be productive to society in any real meaningful way, because they're not willing to grow up and take responsibility for their actions. And that's what growing up is, taking responsibility. And they refuse to do so. And they'll never grow up. I mean, you've seen them all. They all act like children. They have the mind of adolescents. It's time, Geo Media. It's time for the adults to get back in charge and stop dealing with this bullshit. So I'll probably wrap it up there. That's all I had to say on that. But I just wanted to rant on that. So it's good to see people being held accountable for their bullshit. Geo Media, I don't know too much about them, but I'll do a little more research. And hopefully they continue to, separate the wheat from the chaff. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. The likes, the comments really, really go a long way to sharing this video. So, and if you want to see me do more material like this, please let me know. I don't typically do this. I'm going to be working on some more movie reviews, and I have a live stream every Sunday morning at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, U.S. So until then, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye.